I'm Isaiah and I'm a student leader at the University of Toronto. And today's video is going to be a little different than the usual self-improvement theme because I want to answer a question that I hear from a lot of students coming into university, and that is, how do you pick your major? So this video is going to have 5 tips on how to pick a course that satisfies you and that you'll be happy with throughout your university life. And it's all from someone who had to switch courses themselves. Tip number 1, pick courses that come most naturally to you. If you select courses that you have a particular inclination towards or that you do well in, it'll be a better fit for you later down the line, just because the work will come more naturally to you. So ask yourself, what work comes naturally to me? This is something that I did in my last year of high school when I chose computer science to come into U of T with. This turned out really well for the first semester because the work just came sort of effortlessly to me. However, that did not keep up because it turns out picking the easiest course is not the only thing that you need to consider when choosing your degree. Tip number 2, you want to get a better understanding of why you like the courses that you do well at. You really want to find a deeper reason for why you like these courses. One thing that university is almost bound to do is make the topics that you once found easy difficult. And when that happens, if the only motivation that you have is because you're good at that topic, it's gonna really make you struggle when things get tough. Similar situation happened to me. As I said, in my first semester, I was doing well in computer science, but in the second semester, the wheels started to fall off because the work didn't come as easily to me anymore. And then I realized that I am not enjoying this. The coding started to become more of a chore than enjoyment. So you want to sit down and really find a deeper reason and a deeper meaning for why you want to do those courses. And the course with the best reason is likely the one you should pick. Tip number 3, be flexible in your thinking. So it is completely fine to have a solid plan of where you want to be and what you want to do for your career. However, you want to be careful to not fall into the trap of thinking it's the only thing that you can ever do. You don't have to be a lawyer or a computer scientist or a doctor. You have a very wide variety of possibilities ahead of you in university. In my first year, I only really considered doing computer science. I had my blinders on, so I wasn't really aware of what I could do or that I could do anything else. That really came back to bite me because when things got tough in computer science, I was dropping courses that I actually were interested in order to maintain my grade for the computer science coding courses. Yeah, and that is something that really came back to bite me in the future because when I finally realized I wanted to switch, I needed to still retake those courses that I liked in order to get to the program that I'm actually in. So if I was more open to the possibilities, I would have saved myself a lot of trouble. So here's hoping that you learn from that mistake. Tip number 4, take electives. Oh my gosh, this has to be the top tip on this list. Taking electives is one of the best ways that you can find out different topics that might interest you and discover different courses of study. And it's very possible that, similar to me, it might expose you to courses that make you realize you want to switch. Even if you don't end up switching altogether, the magic of electives is they give you a difference in perspective on the actual courses you're doing. So for instance, if you're doing computer science and you take a psychology course, that's going to give you a lot more insight on what your users might be thinking when using your code, allowing you to write better software. With each elective that you take, it will either confirm your current choice of study or prompt you to take another one. And going back to tip number 2, it will help you better understand why you like those courses as well. I suggest you take as many electives as possible and you take them early, just to make sure that what you're doing is what you want to. Throughout my university time, I have seen a lot of people completely change direction after taking a good elective, and all for the better, myself included. Tip number 5, learn more about where your course of study will lead you in the future. At U of T, and I'm assuming at a lot of other universities too, you can check online on their website to find more resources on where your current degree might land you as a career. There are also a host of content creators online who work in many different fields. If you go to YouTube and type in that career followed by day in the life, you'll probably find some good results as well. These type of videos can help you better understand what the day-to-day life of these careers actually looks like. Not to mention they're pretty entertaining as well. You can also ask other people in your university directly. If your department has some sort of mentorship program or program where you can get in contact with older students, you should go for that 100% of the time. That way you can get a better sense of what it looks like for their upper year studies and what the unique experience at your school is like for that given course. And finally, you can just go straight to the source and straight up ask your professor what their course of study is like. Many professors are very willing to talk about their course of study, simply because it is what they spend a large part of their lives doing. All it takes is a simple chat after class or sending an email and asking questions along the lines of, what do they enjoy about it? What do they think it takes to succeed? And what does it look like later down the line in this course of study? And you'll get a lot of good answers and get a lot of insight. Not to mention, it will set you apart as being an engaged student. And that is never a bad thing when you're in university. So that concludes my tips for how to find the right degree for you. To recap, you should pick something that comes naturally to you. You should pick something that you have a deeper reason for doing. You should be flexible and take electives to capitalize on the possibilities. And you should get more information online and through asking for help. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Advice type videos like this will be coming more and more frequently, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, I hope that you have a good day. My name is Isaiah, and until next time, good luck choosing your courses.